Former Senate President Bukola Saraki has responded to the renewed tensions in the People's Democratic Party. Saraki, the head of the 7-member PDP Reconciliation Committee, pledged to persuade disgruntled Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, to rejoin the negotiation process. Saraki gave this assurance on Sunday night, May 25, 2025, while speaking through Yusuf Olaniyono, his media aide. He said, Wike's pulling out of the arrangement is not really a setback as you inferred. It's just an indication that we still need to do more work and intensify more efforts. A mediator cannot be seen reacting to every issue arising conflicts. Otherwise, in the process of speaking, he may say something that the various parties may misinterpret. In the first statement issued by Wike, you can see where he referred to his position in the Reconciliation Committee. Furthermore, the ex-Kwara State Governor warned that Nigerians, including stakeholders of the PDP, should resist the danger of the country's main opposition party going into oblivion, stressing that the development would see the country evolve into a one-party state. He said, the alternative to PDP is one-party state. The PDP goes beyond party. This is the only legacy party that is remaining. Out of the 3 parties with which we started this democracy, AD is gone, APP is gone. So this is the only legacy party. Allowing it to die will be a major setback for democracy. Dr. Obama, do you believe, first of all, that Nigeria is tilting towards a one-party state?
Well, you just read my profile briefly. Yes. I studied French, and being a French graduate, you know that I have to travel to a lot of Francophone countries. And what we are seeing develop in Nigeria today has already been existing in many of these 13, 15 Francophone countries in Africa. They're already there. It's a one-party state. I take, for instance, Lomé, Togo. Yadema ruled for over 40 years, died. The chief of army staff, Hersway, and invited his son, who was studying abroad, to come and take over the office of his father as president. They trusted him more than his younger brother, who was also an army commander in Kara, in one of their outposts in Kara, not in Lomé, in the capital. So he came back, came back and took over. It's a one-party state. Obasanjo was president at the time. He insisted that he has to conduct election, you know, and take over properly as elected civilian president. What did he do? He quickly renovated the assembly quarters, the assembly secretariat, and then invited all old assembly members his father had done with. He had, you know, chased them out of the country. And then they came, amended some constitution, parts of their constitution, allowed him to contest election. He won the election, and that was how the National Assembly died again. And since then, he's been in power. It's more than 15 years now. 4 has been president of Togo. It's the same thing. Gbagbo did the same thing. They had to overthrow his government. The man who overthrew his government did the same thing. You go to Gabon, Bongo, the same thing. So we are in Nigeria here, we're just buying into the one-party system. And I am very, very sure that before 2027, we will not be talking about nobody is talking about AG again. AG is gone. My late elder brother was the first governorship candidate of AD. Was first governorship candidate or second governorship candidate of AD in Rivers State. Nobody is talking about AG again. SDP is gone. People just use it to milk money from INEC, because INEC pays some money to the parties contesting election. So they just paint one structure in Port Harcourt and all over the country and call it National Secretariat of that party. Of course, it's a registered party. They still have their members. You know, they use it. They use the party to collect that money from INEC. So, but they are not into the game. The only parties today that we know that are into the game is Labour Party, PDP, and APC. So now that we are making deliberate effort to kill Labour Party, we are making deliberate effort to kill PDP. Of course, yes, of course, PDP. So what is left is APC. So it's not one party state. It's a one-party state, and that's dangerous for democracy. No credible opposition, so whatever the ruling party says or does becomes the right thing. And the rest of us will cry in a one-party state system. There's no difference between one-party state and anarchy and monarchy, like the French people call it. Monarchy. There's no difference. You know, well, we have something that seems to look like an election every 4 years. Okay? Now we have people coming from different parties to contest election, and in some cases even win from the opposition. But when you have one-party state, everybody will just to become party flag bearers of that, and you will see let me not say some words here on TV because I don't know who is watching, but you will see violence because everybody who wants to win an election will want that ticket, and they will want to win that ticket at all costs. You know what that means to our country. So I will suggest strongly to those who are hearing us and to those who really run this country and the political system of this country, one party system is dangerous. Go to Cote d'Ivoire. A few days ago, we had something that looked like a coup. You know, the story is everywhere in town, but in Cote d'Ivoire, I called some of my friends there. I said, the way we are hearing the story in Nigeria is not even the way it is in their country. Babu is still, what's that his name? Ouattara is still there as president. But the public, in the public view, perception. The public perception is that he has been removed as president. Why is this so? It's because of this one-party system. And because Traore is bringing a new leaf into leadership in Africa. So everybody is looking at him as a role model, and they want to take, but it is still dangerous because it's a one-party system. He decides what happens. I'm not completely against it, but I think that Nigeria should not, as a secular state, Nigeria should not adopt a one-party system. It will not work for us. It might work for others, but it will not work in this country.
Right. Then what do you make of Saraki's reaction? Because, I mean, this is what he's saying, that they are killing PDP and we are tilting to one-party state. But then he also reacted to Wike pulling out of all agreements. Do you stand by what he has said as well?
What is this agreement? 4 points agreement that Wike had with his friends. And let me even ask, why is it that Wike is always having agreements, and then when you say bring a copy of the agreement, you tell you it was a gentleman agreement, which means it was not written anywhere? And why is it that these agreements are always on his side? The other sides have no voice. The 4-point agenda or the 4-point agreement, so-called agreement, is all about my brother, Nyeso Wike. Of course, I'll call him my brother, my elder brother, former governor of Rivers State, now FCT minister. Why is it that all the agenda, all the 4 points agreement is all about him? Let's even look at this one. That Okoye remains the secretary of the party, irrespective of court judgment. Who does that?
No, that's not what he said.
What did he say?
What he said was that Samuel Anyanwu must remain as the national secretary.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the Southeast PDP caucus is insisting that Udokoye must be returned, or they elected Udokoye, that Udokoye must be accepted as the PDP national secretary.
Which of them contested for governorship?
Or they will pull out from that agreement. Samuel Anyanwu was the one that contested for governorship in 2023.
Yes. I mixed it up there.
In Imo State.
I mixed it up there.
Okay.
Now, you left your office. Of course, by the constitution of this country, you will resign to contest election. You resign, contested election, failed, and you want to come back to that office.
PDP constitution says different, and I have PDP constitution in my office.
No, PDP constitution is not bigger than the national constitution, constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, there is a Supreme Court precedent that said that the court will not interfere in party matters.
Not when it has to do with your fundamental human rights.
Hold on. Let me clarify you on this. Now, PDP constitution says that not that you shall, you may, which means it is at your own discretion, you, the person. And before Senator Samuel Anyanwu went for that election, he actually wrote for leave he wrote, taking leave, and now handed over power or handed over to his deputy and went for that election. And after that, he came back and resumed. Now, this happened in 2023.
Yes.
And then nothing happened. Udokoye did not emerge. Southeast PDP caucus was in peace up until PDP crisis started. And then there were factions. And then suddenly, one beautiful day, now the question would be, PDP Southeast caucus is saying that Udokoye was nominated. After he was nominated, why wasn't it ratified by the NEC? Because at that time, Samuel Awanyo was contesting.
Okay.
So why wasn't he ratified by the NEC? And why didn't he immediately resume his position since he has been elected and was, none of that happened.
Okay.
And Samuel Awanyo came back. Udokoye did not complain. The Southeast did not complain until much later.
Okay.
So what do you make of that?
So, when we were much younger, growing up in Port Harcourt, there are mango trees planted everywhere in Old Jerry. So, as you're coming back from school, Baptist High School, I don't know which of the schools you attended in town, we would deliberately want to pass through Old Jerry so we can stone some mangoes. So, you see, maybe the stick you used yesterday hung there, up there, and refused to come down. So when you go today, you're stoning mango, the stick that you left up there will come down with the mango. That's exactly what happened. Okay. So Ayan was nominated by the Southeast caucus. He did not nominate himself to go there as party secretary. It is the Southeast caucus that nominates him or nominated him. The same Southeast caucus that sent you there. Say, oh boy, you go contest election, tell us, you told the party, no problem. But we are nominating somebody else to replace you. Don't forget that we have in PDP they haven't done their Congress, their national convention.
Ayan emerged not by the action of the Southeast PDP caucus, but the action of the
verify.
Not the Southeast.
Verify. No, verify. You need to verify that because I've been part of the party system. You must be nominated for that position, either by your caucus or by the leader of the party in the state or national. Somebody nominated you and somebody ratified you. Okay, I was at the lower level and secretary of the PDP. In 1999, ward secretary of the party. I was nominated by the leader, ratified by the caucus in the local government, and my name was brought to the state. Of course, they will do some background checks to assure them, reassure the leadership that you have not been playing opposition or you're not coming from another background to come and, betray the party much later. These things are done, no matter the position you're
the arrangements that must be reached.
Of course, especially in zoning. Because if you allow one zone to produce all the ESCO members, in the party, then it becomes a party of a particular section, no longer a national party. So Ayan was nominated and ratified by the caucus of the East. And if those who sent you there say, okay, come back. Let us send your brother Otago. Come back and allow your brother to go. If he had succeeded as governor of Imo State at the time he went to contest, would he still be talking about national?
Now, in this instance, everything happened differently, and Supreme Court gave judgment in favor of Samuel Ayan. The question would be, if the Supreme Court has given judgment affirming the position of Samuel Ayan as National Secretary of PDP, why can't they let it go? I mean, how many more months before the NEC meeting is held? And if they so want Udokoye to emerge or whoever, then they can push for it.
My elder brother James will tell you we are playing politics. We are not in your family meeting. We are playing politics. Yes, this is politics.
To the extent that Supreme Court's judgment is.
They are all victims. They are all victims of disobeying Supreme Court judgments and all. All of them. They are used to disobeying Supreme Court judgments. How many of them obeyed Supreme Court judgment when they were governors? We know this thing. They are all part of the story. How many Supreme Court judgment did we obey in the last 2 years? And how many of these Supreme Court judgments did we buy? Yes, now.
But then when you look at this critically, at the end of the day, it's further balkanizing PDP as a party. And then I find it interesting because these persons, some of them are occupying elective positions. Some of them, though their tenure will come to an end by 2027, I mean, their second tenure will come to an end, may want to bring in their anointed into position. Some of them will run for second tenure.
So now you see the reason why
the question would
fighting.
be, why further balkanize a platform that you want to use, knowing that that platform will not deliver you in 2027 if it is in shambles?
So now
I'm trying to understand their thinking and why they're doing what they are doing.
Like I said, yes, Wike, my elder brother, thinks 10 years ahead of other politicians.
Okay.
And then what he is doing today, I say go back and look at the 4 points agreement that he had asked for, withdraw case against emergency rule in Rivers State, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Go and check all of them. No one protects the other party in the agreement or in the negotiation for peace in the party. No one. Everything is about him, between him, the president, between him, his state, between him, his ambition. Why would such agreement? Why would, if I were Makinde, I wouldn't allow such agreement to trade. You understand? Because, like I said, he thinks like 20 years ahead of other politicians. And what he wants to achieve with these, you will see it in the coming days. Once you allow Anyanwu, his own secretary, to thrive, you will see it. If you want to contest for a governorship, Anyanwu will sign. And if you're not in his good books, Anyanwu signature will not be there. So
now, from what you're saying, the Southeast Caucus, through the instrumentality of Makinde and Bala Mohammed, they are pushing for Udokoye because Udokoye will protect their interests.
Let's use this international language.
I'm going with what you have explained.
They are pushing for balance of power in the party. They are pushing for balance of power in the party. If you use the national chairman...
Is it balance of power?
Yes.
Or is it their interest at this point?
Of course.
So what you call balance of power for them is their interest.
Of course. The legal advisor of the party, very key member of the ESCO. The PRO of the party, very key member of the party, of the ESCO. The secretary of the party, very key. And then the national chairman.
But they have the Ologunaba on their side.
I don't know who and who is on whose side. But
everybody
is it the national secretary? Is it the national secretary and the legal advisor? If you lose the two, you don't have a party.
Well, one would say the legal advisor is on the other side, national secretary is on the other side, Lebo Ologunaba is on the other side, Damagumi is on the other side. So isn't it balanced in this instance? I
don't think it's still balanced because the powers of the national secretary.
Outweighs every other.
Even the chairman can't even control the national secretary and the national legal advisor. Because the constitution gave them so much power. You know, that they can do certain things on behalf of the party, sign some letters on behalf of the party, you know, summon for net meetings without even the chairman will just come and sit down there and they tell the chairman, we are passing a vote of no confidence on you, and you leave.